Welcome back. Week 6, step 6 of the creation frequency. This week's topic is about the power of giving, and as we'll be starting in a moment, I am going to wait for some people to hop on. I'm streaming both on YouTube and Facebook. So again, welcome replay viewers. Thank you for being here. And so we'll just go right into it. I'm just going to go ahead and get my screen situated here. All right, so the power of giving. This is the final intention you will be creating through this process, right? This sixth intention is super powerful and is about becoming a giver. Your intentions do not have to be about giving. Your intentions don't have to be about receiving. It can be about giving. So the author has already created his significant intentions by category in the last 5 steps. First one was to get his wife and daughter back. Second was to owning his own business. Third, increasing his income. Fourth, buying a house. And fifth, improving his health. Last but not least, the intention it was left to do, his final step was to create an intention to give back. The power of giving is a gift in itself, is a powerful gift. Here's the thing, just as you practice you have the practice of gratitude, where the more you are grateful for the things you have, the more comes back of that which you have, and then more some. Well, the more you put out, the more you receive. This is tapping into the universal law of receiving. So there's 2 parts to this law. Giving freely and being open to the blessings that will come your way through unselfish giving. And it states that in order for you to receive, we must be willing to give. So this applies to everything in our life, not just money. So think about this as we go along. What can you do to help others? What can you do to make a difference in the world? Consider a passion you've always had. And perhaps you may not ever really thought of this. So this will be a time to think about it. You don't have, and you may also think that you don't have much to give, and that's okay. You don't need to have something physical to give, whether it's money or possessions. So what does it mean to become a giver? We have, most of you already givers, I'm sure, and a lot of us are unbalanced givers. We give too much where we don't even give back to ourselves. We deplete ourselves. Most of us have the mindset of scarcity, and this affects both rich and poor. We need to shift our mindset from scarcity to generosity. Having the mindset of not enough, something's missing, needing to get this fulfilled in order to be happy. This is a void that can never be filled by possessions. Even the rich can still be miserable, even though they have everything, still seeking something to fill that hole in their soul. So I know this is hard. We all know this is hard to switch mindsets in general, but it is hard to switch this mindset. The only way to fill this void is to stop trying and to go the opposite direction, which is to start giving. The author recounted a time when he was young, where he was listening to his father recount his childhood. Now, I'll preface this to say that his father was a functioning alcoholic, but as his father was telling him about his childhood, his parents were also alcoholics. He eventually ended up being awarded the state, ended up in a juvenile home. And later on, his aunt was able to pull him out and raise him, which essentially changed his father's life. So in that moment when he heard this, he felt as if his heart was going to burst. Later on, a few years later, he did come across another instance where he heard about, or he saw a documentary where there was this priest who created homes for troubled teenage boys. And this elicited that same feeling of wanting to help because he remembered what his father went through. And so this was near and dear to his heart. In those moments, he connected to the feeling which is key to create this final intention, which is compassion. Not worrying about how you're going to find the extra time, money, or energy, just focusing on the feeling of caring for someone else or to other people. That is what compassion is. The feeling of caring, the essence of compassion is just a feeling of caring that occurs when our conscious awareness senses the interrelationship with others with everyone and everything in the universe. Again, create an intention to give instead of giving. So what can you do to help others? What can you do to make the world a better place? What are you passionate about? Doesn't matter if you're a hot mess. Doesn't matter if you don't have your life together or don't think you have enough to give. It is in giving that we receive. So to attempt to connect to this memory or this instant that will elicit this feeling, you can think about a time when someone or something touched your heart. What connects you to compassion? The feeling of caring and connection to other people. Keep your attention on what moves you and describe how you are going to make a difference. Don't worry about the how or the why. Once you start giving, you will start feeling like you're getting filled up, like you will start filling up, essentially. So I want to mention the law of reciprocity, which states what you freely give with a loving heart comes back to you multiplied. So no matter how much you give, so long as you give with a pure heart. In other words, the intention has to be one of compassion or simply caring, not one of duty, not of obligation, not for the desire of getting something in return. So you can become a giver in countless ways and discover the abundance of love that flows through your life when you replace the mindset of scarcity to generosity. The purpose of life is to serve. The meaning is found in the act of giving. So don't wait to start jumping in and start to give. Don't wait until you're feeling like you're enough or you have enough. Start right now with an open and compassionate heart. Give of love. Give kindness. Give a smile. Simply give your attention. Give a compliment or a smile to the cashier at the grocery store. Give a smile to a stranger even when you don't feel like it. Putting your stuff aside and being fully present when you're having a meal with your family. Give your full attention for the duration of a conversation by being fully present. Give of your time. Share your knowledge. What you've discovered. It'll come back to you 100-fold. So the author shares an example of a Holocaust survivor. His name is Viktor Frankl, also the author of A Man's Search for Meaning. And he wrote, "It is in the pursuit of happiness that thwarts happiness." And a little bit of background on this author, Viktor Frankl. He chose to stay in his native Vienna rather than escaping, ended up in a concentration camp, lost his family entirely, including his pregnant wife. But he came out on the other side with a new perspective of what it takes to have a meaningful life, what he can contribute to others in the world. And he wrote, "A man who becomes conscious of the responsibility he bears towards a human being who affectionately waits for him or unfinished work, knows the why for his existence. Happiness cannot be pursued. It must be ensued." In other words, happiness is a byproduct of living a purposeful life. When you start to create a life of your dreams, build the act of giving into the intentions you set for yourself. Don't let it be an afterthought or a byproduct of the abundance you will one day have. Make it a part of your plan, your definition of success. So this will ensure a life of meaning and purpose. Once again, service doesn't mean that you have to contribute money or the effort to a particular cause. The essence of being a giver is of being of service. So by simply being available to another person, giving them your full attention. How many opportunities do you miss every day to make that kind of a difference? It might just take as little as a smile or a kind gesture to change another person's day or even life. We don't know the gravity or the huge effect our kindness and availability has in somebody else's life. So with that said, the author takes a moment to reconnect to this feeling in his heart, the feeling that he was able to evoke in this memory that his father, when his father was telling him of his troubled childhood and the passion that he felt to help people in the same position. And he wrote the following intention and promise. "It is deeply rewarding to have created a transformational facility that serves as a home for troubled youth. I feel so purposeful knowing that I am helping young people who are struggling like my dad when he was growing up. I am able to draw on my own experience to share the wisdom, strength, and I hope I have gained in turning my life around. It is so uplifting to share the 12 steps with these young men. I am so grateful to be of service. So with that said, build into your intention plan formula the intention to give. Make that promise. And you don't have to have anything to give. Trust me, it will come into fruition. You'll get the ideas of how you can give back, even with simply just by doing the things I've listed, which is just giving kindness and love to others. It'll just start to unfold. The universe will start bringing that into your awareness. So with that said, that is it for today's, or first week 6, step 6, week 6 of the creation frequency. I'm going to be realistic this time and wait probably do this in another couple of weeks. And for week 7, step 7, week 7, I have not listened to that chapter yet, and I will, and we'll come back at you with that information. So leave your comments below, give me your feedback if you are called or guided to do so. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer them. So until next time, have a beautiful week, beautiful night. Until then, much love. Mwah.